You're ready?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Rios, you good?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll get on the record position 6 from our afternoon calendar, 24 SC 006 277, State versus Kiera Patrick, who is here in court with Ms. Rios, Ms. Davis for the state. Ms. Patrick, Ms. Davis is about to put you under oath, and she's going to ask you a bunch of questions about you and your case. You need to answer those truthfully and completely, but you also need to let Ms. Rios or me know if you've got any questions. Will you do that?
Okay.
And you got to speak up. So Ms. Rivers, that's our court reporter. She may look invisible, but she's trying to listen to what's going on. So make sure you project into that microphone, okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. Ms. Davis?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you will give in this matter before the court shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Please state your true, correct, and legal name.
Kiera Ariana Patrick.
Can you spell your first name for the record?
Kiera.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Is there any medication that you normally take that you have not taken today?
No.
How old are you and how far have you gone in school?
I'm 24. I graduated from Miller Grove High School.
Where's that?
Is in Decatur on Miller Road.
Okay.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
Do you understand that you're charged with the following offenses? 1 count of aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony.
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges? And if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
Yes.
Have you had enough time to speak with your lawyer, Attorney Rios, about all the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges in this indictment, including any potential defenses?
Yes.
Do you need more time to discuss this case with your attorney?
No.
Are you satisfied with her services?
Yes.
Attorney Rios, do you waive formal reading of the indictment and any and all defects therein for the purposes of this plea?
Yes.
Ms. Patrick, do you remember having been arrested on these charges?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to this, to these charges. Attorney Rios, are you aware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges?
No.
Ms. Patrick, has your attorney advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each charge to which you are pleading to today?
That's what we did when I called you. Yes.
For aggravated assault, the maximum is 20 years, and for possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, it is 5 years consecutive. Do you understand that today you're entering a negotiated plea of guilty, which means the state will make a recommendation to the court?
Yes.
Do you understand that the court is not required to accept the state's recommended sentence?
Yes.
Do you understand that the court has the right to sentence you to the maximum possible sentence on each charge? Do you understand that there are multiple charges to which you're pleading guilty today, and the court has a right to run those sentences consecutively or one after the other? Do you understand that if the court decides to order a sentence that differs from our negotiated plea, you have the right to withdraw that plea?
Yes.
I'm just going to ask you to speak up just a little bit for Ms. Rivers. Attorney Rios, is your client intending to take this plea under first offender?
Yes.
Ms. Patrick, are you asking to be treated as a first offender under the provisions of the First Offender Act?
Yes.
Have you ever pleaded guilty to or no to, or ever been convicted of a felony in the state of Georgia or any other jurisdiction?
No.
Have you ever been sentenced for a crime, felony or misdemeanor under the First Offender Act?
No.
Has your lawyer explained the First Offender Act to you?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you violate the terms of your first offender sentence or commit a new offense while on first offender probation, your first offender status could be revoked and you could be adjudicated guilty and you could be resentenced up to the maximum sentence for each charge in this indictment?
Yes.
Do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on other convictions in this jurisdiction as well as other jurisdictions, including federal courts?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at a trial would, and that is true regardless of any advice by your attorney or anyone else?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm or use a firearm in a crime, you'll be guilty of a felony which can carry a sentence from 1 to 15 years in prison?
Yes.
Do you understand there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction following a trial?
Yes.
For example, your guilty plea may affect the right to vote, to hold public office, to serve on a jury, to obtain a passport, to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment.
Yes.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up the following rights: the right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to the assistance of counsel hired by you or court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at a trial of your case, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence, the right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. Do you understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Excuse me,
You can
didn't get a response.
Oh,
The right to appeal after a trial.
Can you respond to, do you understand that this may impact your right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to speak it just a little bit more. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you understand that you have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from today for the felony charges to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea?
Yes.
How do you plead to the charges in indictment 24 SC 006277, aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony?
Guilty on the Alford.
Has anyone forced you, threatened you, or promised you anything to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
The Alford plea.
Just to confirm.
Yes.
so that's not a trick question. No one's trying to slip you up, but we're just going through some routine things. You know what it means to plead under Alford? Meaning you're saying, I know the state says this is what happened, that you pointed a gun at Ms. Weems, et cetera. And as I understand it, when you say Alford plea, you're saying that's not exactly what happened. I want to plead guilty. I don't want to go to trial, but I don't agree with everything. Actually, Ms. Davis hasn't said what the state thinks happened, but I just took a quick look at the indictment. You're charged with pointing a gun at Ms. Weems. But we're going to both hear what Ms. Davis says she thinks the evidence is. But it sounds like based on what Ms. Rios has told you, your view is that's not really how it went down, but I still want to work this case out. Is that a fair statement? Yes? Okay. That's what an Alford plea is.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Are you entering this plea freely, voluntarily, given with the full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
Judge, the state believes at trial the evidence would show that on May 30th, 2023 at 1991 DeLoe Drive in Atlanta, Georgia in Fulton County, that the defendant did arrive to the victim as Acuria Weems' residence. This is an apartment complex. They were engaged in a verbal altercation. It had something to do with their child's father. And that altercation escalated and that the defendant did produce a firearm and pointed at Ms. Weems. And it was because of this that she was charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during a felony.
All right.
The state's recommendation based on Ms. Patrick's limited history is a recommendation of a total of 6 years probation. So that would be a 1-year sentence on the aggravated assault, with 5 years consecutive for the possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. It would be a probated sentence. Ms. Patrick would need to complete anger management, 40 hours of community service, no contact with the victim, and we are, of course, not opposed to first offender.
All right. I think I got that. Ms. Jackson, do you have criminal history information on Ms. Patrick?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 5 cycles. The last arrest was March the 22nd, 2023 out of Lithonia, Georgia, for a failure to appear. The underlying charge was not listed. She does have misdemeanor convictions. It's one in 2024 out of DeKalb County for theft by taking, and one in 2023 out of DeKalb County for theft by shoplifting. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Rios, Ms. Weems and Ms. Patrick have kids through the same person?
Yes.
Okay, got it. What do you want to tell me about Ms. Patrick and this situation?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Patrick is 24 years old. She works for a caregiving company. She has a 2-year-old autistic daughter and a 7-year-old son. I'm asking for this case to be treated under first offender and for you to consider possibly concealing the case up front, just because based on these charges, it might affect her caregiving work. I'm not sure, but that's what we're asking for, and a behavioral incentive date of 2 years, convicting that she doesn't have any felony convictions. In regards to this case, I've watched the video and I didn't see anyone. There were several videos, so possibly could have missed it, but when I was looking through the videos, I didn't see her at any point like raise and point a gun at anyone. Now there might have been something in her hand that I couldn't really make out, but nothing, I didn't see her like point it at. So that's the basis for her Alford plea.
Okay. So she's not saying she wasn't there or that she and Ms. Weems weren't kind of going at it. She's saying, I didn't bring a gun to this situation, or at least point a gun at it. Okay. All right. Appreciate you sharing that. Ms. Patrick, are both your children with this same guy who was the source of friction with Ms. Weems?
No, it was a miscarriage.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you ended up not having a child with, what's this guy's last name, just so I can use a name?
Nelson.
Nelson. So you and Mr. Nelson ended up not having a child.
Right.
But Ms. Weems has a kid with Mr. Nelson.
Yes. Yes, I think.
I thought that's what the issue was with you and Ms. Weems, is that, no? Why were you and Ms. Weems having a dispute?
It's about him, but
About Mr. Nelson, but not necessarily about the kids. It's just, hey, that's my guy. No, that's my guy.
right.
Okay. Are you still
No.
in Mr. Nelson's life, or is he in your life?
No.
No. Okay. That's probably better. Did you know Ms. Weems in any other way, or just because she was another in the Nelson harem?
No, like I used to see her all the time, but I never knew who she was.
Okay. But did you see her because of Mr. Nelson, or just you guys lived in the same apartment complex? Where
I
would
used
you?
to see her all the time.
Okay. But you don't see her much now.
No.
So staying away won't be difficult.
Right.
Okay. All right. Who lives in your household?
I stay with my mom.
Okay.
now.
And what about your kids? Do they stay with you?
Mhm.
So it's you, your daughter, your son, and your mom?
Yes.
No one else?
My little sisters. I got 2 little sisters, a 18-year-old and a 9-year-old.
18 and 9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you finished high school at Miller Grove?
Yes.
Tell me what it means to be a caregiver. What do you do?
Like I have different locations. I changed my clients. I do a lot for them. Like
But like, what's an example? Like you go to their house or you go to an assisted living facility?
I go to most of my client house, but
All right.
Mhm.
So you go to a house on Walnut Street, knock on the door. There's Ms. So-and-so who's your client.
yes, I go in there and bathe them, get them out of bed. It's like a Hoyer. I put it. I get them out of bed. I feed them. I get them their medication.
Okay, so you take care of them. I mean, you're effectively a nurse for them. And how many clients do you have?
4,
Do you have them because they just found you online, or you work for an agency?
a company.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
6 years. In October, it'll be 7.
Wow, you started early. Okay, all with this same company?
No, I've been with 3 companies already, but now I work 2 of them. But one of them, I'm not currently working because I don't have transportation. So
What
I'm at
happened to
one company.
transportation?
My auntie back here was taking me to work, but she don't have a car right now, so.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about anything we discussed?
No.
Tell me why this is an Alford plea, not because you and Ms. Weems didn't get at it. You're saying there was no gun, or you didn't point the gun, or what's your version?
Okay. Basically, Miss Wing came to my house first. I got evidence that she came to my house first.
Okay.
And 2 days later, I went to her house.
And her house is the Delow Drive apartment?
Yes.
Okay.
And
And you went to her house, you were bringing her cookies saying, I'm sorry, we had an argument?
no,
That's not why you went there.
right.
Okay.
But
Were
I
you pretty
did-
hot when you went there?
Mhm.
Okay.
I didn't point at a gun, but I did have one in my hand.
Okay. How'd you get the gun?
It's in my name. I got it.
Pardon me?
I bought it from the store. It's
Oh.
in my name.
Oh, like you just went to a gun store and bought the gun?
I've been had it.
Pardon me?
I had been had the gun.
Okay. As a first offender, you can't have a gun anymore. I don't know if Ms. Rios told you that, but I'm telling you. So if you have one in your household, it has to go out.
Yeah, it's stolen now, so I don't have it.
Okay, well, don't get another one while you're on first offender probation. Because that's a whole separate crime and there's no second offender. So if you get pulled over and you got a gun in the car, that's a crime. So just be thoughtful about that. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. First offender is something you qualify for. It's a benefit. It means that this will not go on your criminal history because it's not a conviction. You will be under sentence for a while, and so you have to comply with the sentence. And while you're under sentence, you can't have a gun. That was one of the things I mentioned. But when the sentence is done, this can be expunged from your record, and it's as if nothing happened, except that you were under sentence and all that. So if you wanted to get a gun, you could. You can vote, you can be on a jury, all that kind of stuff. But while you're under sentence, if you get arrested for something else, not only do you have those new charges, whether it's theft by taking or shoplifting or whatever it is, but your first offender can kind of blow up on you. And you are pleading to 2 counts where if you add them up, it's 25 years. And so I'm just going to give you an example. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you and Ms. Weems, for whatever reason, get back at it. Mr. Nelson's back in your life, but he's in her life. You get angry and you go over there with a knife instead of a gun. That's another aggravated assault. So you'd have the new charges, but we'd be back here and I'd say, Miss Patrick, you made me think you're this caregiver and you're a good mom and all that stuff, but here you are getting hot and bringing a knife to someone. Not only do you have the new charges, with this old situation, I could revoke a bunch of your time, take away the first offender. All of a sudden, you've got the conviction, and I can resentence you. I'm not sentencing you to any jail now, but I could resentence you to some time. That means you're away from your kids, away from all this stuff, and then you've got a conviction. And I share that just so you understand there's a downside to first offender. It's mostly good. It's a great idea, as long as you're pretty sure that you are going to handle things differently as you move forward in life. Do you feel like you understand the risk and the benefit of first offender?
Yes,
Do you want to be sentenced as a first offender?
yes.
Okay. Well, Ms. Patrick, I find there's a factual basis for your plea. Sounds like you had a gun. You insist you didn't point it. But if Ms. Weems came in and told the jury, oh, she did point it, and maybe another witness who's her friend says you pointed it, they might believe them. That doesn't mean that's what happened, but that may be who they believe. So I understand why you are entering an Alford plea and why you're entering a plea and not going to trial. I also find that your plea is knowing and voluntary. Knowing means you've understood everything, and voluntary means no one's forcing you or making you to enter this plea. Is that true?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yes,
Okay. I'm sentencing you pursuant to the Probation Options Management Act. While you're on probation, if you have a real small violation, you and probation will sort that out. But if it's a bigger deal, you get arrested for anything, that comes back to me. Ms. Rios, can someone in my office sign the indictment on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Patrick, can we sign the indictment indicating your first offender Alford plea in this case?
yes.
All right. Let me check one thing here on your case. What happened? You had a more recent case where you were arrested for stalking and disorderly conduct and things like that. It was in May of last year. Is that just still floating around out there? Did that go away? Or do you know what I'm talking about?
It's still on. Basically, I gotta go to court.
If you still have to go to court? Okay, I see the other one that got dismissed today. Those are two different things, although it looks like you got booked in at the same time for both those. But as far as you know, you still have to go to court. Those others are all misdemeanors. So, but you're keeping track of that.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure you didn't think everything is done through this plea today. All right, so Ms. Patrick, count one, I'm sentencing you to 1 year. Count two has to be 5 years, has to be consecutive. I will probate all that, so it's 6 years probation. Special condition of probation number one is no contact with Ms. Weems. Don't go near her. Don't put something online saying, if I see you again, I'm not going to miss you next time. 40 hours of community service and an anger management course. I will set a behavioral incentive date, which means if by that date you've done those requirements, community service, anger management, and you've been good to the probation people, you haven't been a pain, they are fully authorized to say, let's just close this early. Ms. Patrick is squared away. We got to focus on the people who aren't squared away. And that behavioral incentive date is, August 6th of 2028, so 3 years from now.